say, we had an example of a client where when they came to us, they were running ad hoc programs. And when the results came in ad hoc from different partners that they were running it with. And then they had to go through the process of having each one validated. And then they had to have each one paid out. And it took it from a timeline, that was reasonable to reps weren't getting it paid out for 6 months. And then if there were issues, it took another 6 months to get them paid out. So in terms of the claiming and the validation, there's no two organizations that are the same in terms of their requirements, but there are some foundational activities that you want to do, right? So you need to define, what does eligible look like? What's the proof of performance? So proof of performance for a transactional sales claim will be very different than proof of performance for a co-sell activity or an influencer activity or renewal activity. So you want to make sure that those are the types of things that you define, in these different types of offers so that you know how they're going to claim. So tools are great for setting claim forms that are specific to that task or activity, ensuring that that claim form has the ability for them to do, attach a piece of proof of performance. And then also, in some cases, take a look at how you need to validate it. Do you need to do serial numbers, or is a sales invoice enough? Does it need a gatekeeper? Does your sales team need to validate that co-sell happened? So these are all the things that a tool and the right processes put in place can allow you to eliminate that bottleneck, because you're not figuring it out on the fly, or you're not, throwing claim validation into, the 700 other tasks that your marketing team needs to do, right? You can have a validation team with a company like us. We can do your validation and really get that bottleneck down. So the company that I was speaking to earlier, they went from paying out 6 months to the year where the rep was like, oh, great, yeah, thanks for getting my money, who knows what it was for, to it collapsed down in their case because of some of their other controls to 30 days. So, they took 5 months off what they were paying their reps, and their program skyrocketed because the reps had confidence, the teams internally had confidence, they could communicate out, and then they were also doing the governance, because before that they hadn't done taxation. In this case, it was in Canada. They hadn't been filing taxes, and the fees that they were paying to the Canadian government for when they got caught were enormous. They were almost bigger than their program itself. So those are the types of things that eliminating this bottleneck from a operational standpoint was also saving the money too.